Yeah, actually might not be worst case scenario. We can try to encircle some of these guys. Up there trying to encircle. Huh. Okay, we'll slow it down. You're looking kind of handsome. Oh, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you, Matthew. The ugly truth. I do not want to be fucking Polish right now. Judging about what's going to happen there. Okay, do we want to indulge the monarchists? Despite the shameful state of Vyatka and the treacherous nature of the false Tsar Vladimir, the ideology of monarchism is hardly discredited as a viable means of governing Russia. Sergei Tabarytsky and his monarchist faction, while quite divergent from the rest of our front, are influential nonetheless in his advocate strongly for preserving and protecting the history of Tsardom. I hope Haley doesn't seem... I mean, does she have a Twitch? I don't think she does, so I think you should be good. To indulge Tabarytsky and his followers, we could place several of his supporters in high administrative positions in the newly conquered territories of Vyatka, with Tabarytsky himself as local governor. While this would most certainly allow him to gain power, influence, and support among the people, could it be worth it to ensure that the holy traditions of Russia are preserved, protected, and rightfully revered? No, it's not. And we're going to tell this motherfucker that he's stupid and that his Tsar is dead. Oh, Mr. Truck is coming in for the encirclement. Oh god, that's actually kind of bad. Oh, no. Yeah, that's not the best right now. So, everyone who's left, how are you guys doing tonight? How's life, liberty, pursuit of happiness? How's that all going for you? Tanks. Get some early fighters going, mayhaps. I think, honestly, if we take that, we're good. Maybe. Actually, probably not now. Yeah, they're about to take their capital back. Yeah, I mean, it was worth a shot. Honestly. God, this looks like spaghetti right now. It dead-ass looks like spaghetti. And, I was playing with a dead flashlight and that fucker resurrected. I read it as flashlight for a second, and I was like, wait, how can a flashlight be dead? That makes more sense. Okay, tag Sam? Is that it? That is it. Okay, only a slight bit of mutiny. Very light mutiny. Very unnoticeable in the grand scheme of things. But possibly divisive in the end. We will see if we will indulge a monarchist or not. What can we do next? Not that much, honestly. We might just wait. Yes, I say we play it by ear. Vyatka, after a long struggle, is under our domain. Years of animosity between us have come to head in a climactic struggle, one that, thankfully, we have won. However, the years of monarchist rule in our region have left the culture decidedly czarist, something that the part of our faction decided to use to their advantage. Tabarytsky's clique has begun to push to have him nominated as a Grand Duke of Vyatka. While there's no real harm done by granting him his request outside of some extra legitimacy for his way in viewing things, some within our faction have pushed against this move, claiming it's merely a waste of time and tying ourselves to these czarist days. There's no decision to allow him to consolidate power. That's stupid. He's stupid. His czar is stupid and dead. He can go. Tsar Alexei. More like Tsar Dead Lexi. Yeah, I fucking said it. I say this all now, because I might end up doing the Tabaritsky game for a 1,000 sub goal to see if I can try to bribe you guys. Oh, we did it. Yep. See if I can try to make my way to 1,000 subs by the end of the month. I'm thinking my plan is to bribe the Tabaritsky game behind it. All y'all motherfuckers is stupid. Dog boat maybe, I don't know. Yeah. Kazan will core. Alright. So what? Secure the border. Although along the enforced border of a German occupation zone, numerous stakes have sprung up, forming a clear western flank to secure against a potential German invasion. We should prioritize securing the border and limiting the various warlords that oppose some easy routes for a German incursion into the Russian heartland. Only we can be trusted to effectively defend against the German scourge, and our rhetoric towards warlords of the West must reflect this. There we go. Oh my god, Omsk is winning. Oh my god. Finally someone other than Sverdlovsk has won. My god, Don't get me wrong, this is incredibly fucking cursed. But hey, you know. Also, I don't think this was supposed to happen yet. Tomsk is gonna win though. Alright, whereas the current personnel running the factories in Nizhny Novgorod are at least semi-competent, they are hardly loyal to us and us alone. Less charitable state could denounce them as a pack of mercenaries loyal only to profit. In line with this, some changes in their management must be pursued. Rather than the following the logic of the bandits' market, the heavy industry of Nizhny Novgorod must be put under direct control for the purposes of aiding our sacred task. To reunify the motherland. Some more fighters will be good. We got a fair few things we can start building. I think I'll wait until I get better tanks before I research those. Maybe some strategic bombers. Can go ahead and scavenge for loot. I think I'm good, honestly, just because I already know Onega's going to try to raid us for it. Looks like we have the Oberkommando Braunschweig in total control now. Old Bormann has won. He's consulting his power. That's a horrible fucking flag. That's not very aesthetically pleasing. Let's go ahead and absorb a tank fleet. The fleet of assembled tanks and support elements is considered by many of our generals to be the true prize of Nizhny Novgorod, a vast resource of armored power that can be deployed against our future foes. The bandits controlling the city before us at least have the foresight to hire competent personnel to arm them and keep the factories running. We will profit from this extension, by extension, and mobilize the motor pool of Nizhny Novgorod for the purposes of the state. I mean, that works for me. Free military factories, more fighters. Let's do it. What do we want? What do we do with these troops? Honestly, might as well put them on the Onegan border. And we can work on integrating some more stuff, so let's integrate Arkhangelsk. Do that. So I'm guessing we can just bypass that. The Tatars are conquered once more, and once more their separatist urges are defeated. When the region of Tatarstan truly needs is not autonomy or recognition, but rather total integration. Kazan and the new lands around it will be incorporated into our new state wholesale. There is to be no native autonomy, for why should there be? The Tatars are merely Russians that have lost their way, and their culture is merely a relic of our collective disillusion. Here we go. Russians in all but name. So that'll decrease coring time, make things easier for us. Though we've just about cored everything else, so we're good in most of that regard. Okay, what do we want to do? Most of these guys are the normal divisions, right? So onward ran the River of Anarchy. It's pretty based. That's kind of not based, but Tomsk is winning, and that's always based. Fuck, what do we do? Oh, the Indonesian War! We prefer independence with poverty to servitude with plenty. Seko Torre. The Pacific, a light. Free Indonesia has declared war on Indonesia. I mean, the OFN has kind of been on a roll. I mean, you have their provisional governments. Hold on a second. Hey, Nixon, what you doing, buddy? Why are you still in office? Oh, God. Oh, America's broken. They still have Nixon in office. Oh, God. Okay. We are all Russians, like it or not. Russians in all but name has been completed. Let's go ahead and, scour Samara. Samara is ours, and with it we have secured miles upon miles of fruitful lands, dozen factories, and arsenals overflowing with useful equipment. However, we've also inherited another less valuable thing: traitors, sympathizers with the Russian Liberation Army, and the Germans fill our newly occupied territories, and their partisans continue to fight our forces in many areas. The solution to this problem is simple: a grand crackdown on this treason, and no mercy for any poor fool who dares carry on the cause of a dead traitor. After all, the traitors never get to tell their side of the story. We'll save that for now. And then, why am I blanking? Is it, why am I blanking on how to do 20 widths? What? Artillery. Right, there we go. Okay, yeah. That was embarrassing. I forgot how to do 20 widths. England has joined the Einheitspact. Christian Democrats have joined up, or have been elected in Italia. Margaret Thatcher has allied herself with the Germans, which is always fun. No national focus set. We'll go ahead and we can give this guy a mountaineer trait. That's actually pretty good. Alexander Prokhanov. The Urals are the natural far eastern border of this first phase of our expansion, with the exception of the unassailable Vorkuta, a section of petty warlords' desire to exist along the lines of mountains, relying on the natural borders in isolation to protect themselves from true contenders such as our state. Well, no longer. We shall sweep south along the Grand Mountain Range and secure our eastern border from those who wish to attack from lands that fell to the West Siberian People's Republic. Okay, then. What is Omsk up to? They're sweeping the rest. Oh, God. Yeah, they're not fucking around at all, are they? From gulags to training camps. Oh god. Solidify control. Integrate their NKVD. Oh god. That's incredibly cursed. And I have a feeling that, I don't know, they're probably more interesting to play right about now than... We'll integrate Plesetsk. Bypassing from Rossi. Purge Kazembek. Let's see. It seems our generous appraisal of Rossi was granted too soon. They resisted every attempt to negotiate and bring them into fold, even though they were dead before we could ally them. Will go. Kazembek and the size of officials shall be arrested in prison with trials broadcast over radio. Cease their organization against our regime or face the same fate. There we go. Hungary's side with Italia. Go ahead and integrate Gorky. Or eventually Nizhny Novgorod. Oh, there goes Poland. Poland Feldzung. How can it be peaceful when they try to take away your dignity? R.I.P. Polska. Okay, it's Irkutsk versus the Mandate. Okay, second Purification. Lose a bit of manpower. The Aryan Brotherhood claims that they had purified their lands, moved the state of intervention, installing a new order against their land rule. This is, of course, mere delusion. The city of Perm and the lands around it have been stripped bare of their character. The peoples of the region have been abused and enslaved by the Aryans. We must aid this region, liberating the people from their chains, prosecuting the leaders of this damned cult, and installing a completely new local administration. The crimes which one must commit to be considered Aryan are a clear telltale sign that none of the Brotherhood's members are to be trusted. Thankfully now, they will forever bear the marks of shame. The men and women of the Polish homeland fought with everything they had. Poland is lost. Perhaps this time forever. Okay, then afterwards, we'll do the convention, final words, and then I think it's time for Sarov. See, the reformer's influence is moderately strong. She smiled sadly as she flew into the night. Ah, fuck, that's all. Why is this so fucking sad? Jesus! I fucking love this mod, it's great. I've said this multiple times already, but it's true. Oh, Takagi has been elected Prime Minister. There we go. The second Purification. Siberia is going after Letolsk. We'll see how that ends up going. Let's do the convention. To an outside observer, the Great Convention of the Passionari organization must be a decidedly odd spectacle. The effort to get a big tent party comprising social conservatives, radical Eurasianists, traditional monarchists, and everything in between to agree on a shared doctrine is proving to be challenging. So challenging, in fact, that an alternative proposal for uniting the party is quickly becoming the preferred option. Called the Convergence, it consists of a vote to be held at the end of the assembly to determine the leader of a new organization and a new head of state. I think now we can start looting a little bit. We won't really be able to loot, do anything against the Volunteer Guard. And I don't want to go up against Nova Polska, because I know they're probably not going to win. The convention. Okay, the final words. The convergence looms. Lines are being drawn ever more firmly as the primary leadership candidates make their last appeals to the voting membership. There are no more back debates to be had, no more backroom deals to be made. The four men will each make a final speech and then the decision. The only other question to be decided is who will be the one to speak last. It's the most desired position of the order of speeches by all four candidates, and whoever secures it will have gained both the prestige of a small victory and perceived benefit of having the last word before the vote. Who will it be? Who will it be? Alms is kind of winning. Okay, let's see, let's get working on some anti-tank. There's a certain melancholy at the National Assembly. Officers shuffled into their seats, staff made their last preparation, even the mice on the wall sat silent. So the last one before true leader Komi and later Russia at large would be empowered. With most of the men in the room stubbornly decided on who they supported, some still stood in the middle. Thus, while others dozed in, waiting for another speech to ignore or affirm their beliefs, some sat on the edge of their seats as they waited for someone to take the stage. And take the stage they did. A man quickly approached the podium to give a last speech. But who? Ivan Sarov. Okay, it is time with convergence. The final speeches have been held. And it's time for the convergence to take place. Four men will enter the National Assembly's candidates, each hoping to emerge from the vote as president, ready to guide the passionary to achieve their vision. Only one will succeed. With everything now at stake, tensions are running high. The candidates have all committed to respect the Assembly. But it's anyone's guess how long that respect should the tide turn against them. The cards are about to be played. How long do we have? 4 days. And ladies and gentlemen, the will to power belongs to those with the strength to seize it. The merchants traded to the rope on which they are now hanged. Goddamn. Fuck. That's pretty hardcore. Oh god. The battle for Italy. Will not back down quite so easily. The final battle over Komi's future took place when so many battles had happened beforehand. The National Assembly first came Gumilov, surrounded by guards. He and his representatives taking their seats in the center of the National Assembly. Next came Shavarvik, his men surrounding him as duly as Gumilov's. They took their place to the left of the assembly. There was a short delay before Serov's, his men clad in Soviet uniforms with the stars ripped off, stepped through the door. They took their spot between Gumilov and Shafarvik, and the venom began to spin between the factions. Verbal tussles, insults, angry whispers. Finally, Tabarsky's men filed in, taking their seats on the right of the assembly floor. The stage was set for a political explosion of biblical proportions. The only thing to do now was to give the speeches, take cover, and wait for the pieces to fall. The favored nation lies on shaky grounds. While we're here, let's go ahead, bypass that. Actually, the manpower might have been better. A unitary Russia. The state of Bashkira is once more within our grasp, and its armies have been routed before our superior firepower. All that's left to do now is integrate the former Bashkira as a new province within the Russian state. The new administrative unit shall be named Ufa Oblast. A replacement of the administration shall follow with Russian language curriculum instead. The census run to determine the exact population, demographic composition of the region. The mistakes of the past in dealing with the Bashkirs will not be repeated. It was here. Hours of yelling, of politicians stomping their feet, of passionate speeches and angry rebuttals. A fistfight had even broken out once or twice. After a long, arduous journey, the men and women of the National Assembly rose to cast their votes on who should lead Komi into the future. Gumilov didn't show it, but his heart was pounding against his ribcage as the silence grew. A truck was waiting outside, in the likely case he lost. And he did not expect to lose. If he won, the plans to dispose of Tabaritsky and Sarov were clear in his minds, to be executed almost immediately. But before they could escape, Shafarvik was a different story, but he would get around to him soon enough. Shafarvik hid his face behind his papers to hide his growing fear. Plans swirled through his head, mixing and mashing, escape plan here, an execution plan there. Whichever one he would need to implement, he was certainly ready. Serov's ice-cold face didn't betray a hint of nervousness. His mind had been filled with plans. Plans to leave, plans to stay. He would win, or he would leave. And he suspected the rest of the room felt the same way, as much as they tried to hide their emotion. Tabarsky drummed his finger against the table. Could he do it? Could he win? If not, what then? He hadn't thought that part of it all the way through. His half-formed plan ending at leaving the city in a car as quickly as possible. Whatever he did after this vote, he knew it would decide his fate. As votes were counted, the tension increased. As it was about to burst, a man stepped to the podium and began to read. The winner is... Sarov triumphant. Serov did not smile often. He prided himself on his calm, cold exterior. After all, friendly and NKVD officer were not mixable traits. The last time he could remember himself smiling, genuinely smiling, not just the crocodile smile he gave to those he needed for his plans, was at his desk long ago, writing out his masterpiece. He could remember the ecstasy of the final tap of a typewriter, and he could remember the crushing blow of Suslov, rather than even taking a moment to truly think about his writings, casting it aside out of hand. If only old Mikhail could see him now. He worked hard in the last years. Going from the left to the right was nearly unheard of. It took much time for them to trust him as one of his own. He was no fascist, not at all. At heart, he was still a socialist. Just not one of those doddering fools or naive idealists who seemed to think that slapping the same red coat of paint on Russia would be enough to win. He knew better. Maybe Russia hadn't wanted to accept it then, but they were going to accept it now. He would make them. And so as chaos swept the floor of the National Assembly, his men began to leap from their seats in astonishment at what was thought to be impossible. Serov allowed himself a genuine smile. How'd he pull it off? So politics is changing, ladies and gentlemen. The Ordosocialism will become the ruling party. We got all these new guys. Ladies and gentlemen, please clap. Can we get some pogs in chat for Ivan Sarov, the new leader of Russia? Clap. Thank you, Gup. Does he not have a description? Oh, that's lame. He doesn't have a description I can read. Boo. Oh my god. What the fuck is that consumed goods factories? Modifier. What the fuck? 12.5. Just got back just in time to see the new glorious leader installed. Damn fucking straight. I was playing Among Us with some friends in my dorm. I saw you were playing Among Us. I'm like, damn, Mans is doing it. Good shit. You know, you missed someone subbing with Twitch Prime, but it's not the most important. What is now important is that socialism shall sort of prevail. Kind of. Sort of. We found some 10-year-old in pubs named Goat, and we all decided to protect him every game. Nice. Good shit. Socialism, yeah. National socialism, but still socialism. Let's go. Equality for everyone, as long as you're Russian. As long as you're fucking Russian, everyone else get out. Recent reports have been sent of an overwhelming victory against a recent party of raiding bandits, now to clean up the corpses. Here we go. Can we get our... I don't know why our fucking field marshal was assigned to the troops. So we can go ahead and form the West Russian National Soviet Republic. It's nearly 10 a.m. You should... I mean, you don't have to... You don't... Oh, right. You have a trip. You actually probably should do that. Well, thank you for coming, McCad. Your presence is always appreciated. Everyone give some pogs for McKed, ladies and gentlemen. Please clap for McKed. Everyone on YouTube who's watching him right now, just leave a comment. Say thank you, McKed. Just comment below. Thanks, McKed. Let's see. Orenburg. A unitary Russia. Our efforts to secure Tatarstan have begun in earnest. The roads are filled with trucks, driving from village to village, tearing down the old Tatar flags and symbols and placing them with our flag. All seems to be well so far, but an issue has cropped up. The issue of religion. The Tatar people are Muslims, and our soldiers are overwhelmingly not. This has led to much friction both in the region itself and at home. 3 distinct wings have broken apart on the issue. The first pushes for immediate focus on converting the Tatars to Christianity. After all, they claimed, it's our duty as honest Christians to bring the non-believers back into the fold. This will be costly and take much time to complete, but could be worth completing in the end. The second wing pushes for simply crushing Islam altogether, burning mosques, prosecuting imams, and destroying the religious presence in the area as a whole. This is a controversial idea, but would be easier than conversion, though the Tatars would certainly be unhappy. Finally, some of bros simply leaving religion untouched. The simplest, easiest option. Of course, with much of the right being religious themselves, this is a controversial position to take. In any case, we must act swiftly. We'll tear the apostates down. And then we'll tear the believers down. I'm sorry, this is a non-Christian nation. No religious people allowed now. I'm trying to debate. Do we want to form it now? Let's move the capital Vyaka first. Our new capital, Ust-Sustolsk, has great strategic benefits. It's far from front lines, in a strategic location, and has years and years of administrative framework dating from days of a front all the way to the dawn of a new state. However, another option exists. One has recently been realized with a new integration of Vyatka. The city of Vyatka itself would make for an excellent new capital for our state, hosting all of the ministries and infrastructure that were used by the Tsar to manage his realm. It lies in a central location with a large and fairly loyal population, and also a much more conveniently located river for easy transportation. To move the government is a daunting task, and some may say impractical at this point in time, but with our state's newfound strength, it can be surely be realized easily. New capital, let's go, boys. Gotta spread the love! Syktyvkar, we've had a great time with it, but we're not Komi anymore. We're Ust-Sustolsk, which is, I think it's the original Russian name. I'm trying to remember what it was. Ust-Sustolsk was, I think, the name of Komi, or Syktyvkar, or the state of Komi, whatever it was, during the monarchist days. Civilian factories. And then after, what am I thinking of? After the Bolsheviks came in, they changed it to Komi, or Syktyvkar, or whichever they changed it to. I forget exactly. All I know is, I think it's something like that. I might be speaking completely out of my ass here. I don't know. A new capital. Nick.3670.b. We're doing it. Restoration Day. Let's do it. Today, the most momentous occasion in the day of our new state has arrived. The day of the reunification of the territories the west of the Urals. Through our labor, blood, and diplomatic efforts, all West Russia has now finally come under the control of our new state. Our vast lands extend from Arkhangelsk to Samara, with a loyal and proud population millions strong. With this achievement, the end of warlordism and Bolshevism in our lands, a national holiday shall be declared, and parades held in all of our major cities. Truly, today is the first step in the rise of a new, proud Russia. It is the day of the beginning of the enemies of the motherland. Beautiful. Siberian Black League versus Yugra. Is Tomsk broken? Guys, I think Tomsk is broken. I might need to help them out, honestly. First off, get rid of old man, or young man Valeri. Restoration Day. We'll go ahead and, God, we have a lot of great stuff to do. Let's get a revitalized Russian people. Most importantly of all of our reforms to the new Russian state, the people's morale and political will must be revived. For too long, warlord conflict, bombings, and starvation has eroded the shared identity of the Russian people and eaten the Russian patriotism within the hearts of the populace. A patriotic curriculum in schools must be established, focused on our shared Russian identity. At long last, our people shall once more be revitalized, and their hearts shall beat with pride for our new state. I feel that so hard right now. If anyone takes any of his clips out of context, this is going to be really weird, because I'm going to look at, like, some sort of weird... Well... Meet the old boss. I've said a lot of weird shit this series already. It's not looking nice. Honestly. Okay, Germany's going against Ostland. I can scavenge for loot. I'll do that real quick. We'll do one more thing to get all of our production up and going. What do I want to do? God, all of our rates are going up pretty well, actually, which is great. Civilian construction. No longer get the effects of the Western offensive, which is fine. Actually, that might have helped us with Onega, so that it could be better. We'll get some more motorized. Eventually, I'll get working on... Actually, we should probably get working soon on some more support guys. Let's finalize the industrial policy. The industrial base of West Russia has developed since the Russian War, despite Bukharin's disastrous policies. However, it has not developed in a sane or consistent manner. Various warlord states' grandiose industrial visions have been carried out in clashing and contradictory ways, with redundant supply chains and technologies intended to make use of domestic resources. One of the most critical economic issues we face is binding all of our regional economies together, making use of the enhanced economics of scale, and working to ensure that functional and efficient logistic networks are operational. There we go. Man. Whew. That's a big chunk of a national socialist pie that we're taking up. God damn. That is a lot. We'll do an offensive line into Onega. I'll get that planned out right now. Because we can't do any diplomacy. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's just like right for war. No negotiations, none of that peace shit. Finalize the industrial policy. Let's get some lessons from the Unification War going. The enemies we faced in the Reunification Wars to restore West Russia were varied in their tactics, ideologies, and equipment. From the deep battle of economists to the maneuver warfare of the ROA, we have faced every doctrine that could be thrown against us, and we have emerged victorious. However, this does not mean we should grow complacent. There's always more to learn from our defeated foes, and integrating techniques and tactics from past enemies could help us refine our formal strategies even further. The general who does not adapt to the changing paradigms, after all, is doomed to fall to a general that does. That works for me. Yeah, we're not backing down. Get the fuck out of here. And what do we want to put our loot to? Academic base, maybe? I think we'll do agriculture, actually. Yeah, we'll do agriculture. And again, our fucking field marshal is leading the charge. Now, this is going to be the last time we have to deal with it, fortunately. Because no more loot coming up. The enemy is defeated. Get wrecked. And now we'll give you some more time to get back where you were, man. Got old Gleb. Do infantry expert or ambusher? I think I'll do an infantry expert. Remember, I had another guy who got the mountaineer trait. Which one is that? Alexander, right. I think there are much mountains here, though. Yeah. We have plains. We have forests. Not quite mountains, though. I mean, this area is pretty flat. It's Finland, you know. We have a lot of forests. I'm thinking better infantry weapons. Lessons from the Unification War. Further the infrastructure development. Expanding our logistical ambitions. Another issue that we must face is our lack of coherent centralized rail or road systems. While warlord states indeed build roads, they are often insular and limited, not connected to roads and other fiefdoms, as we understand priority, but an understandable priority, but one that we must rectify. New bridges must be built over rivers that once formed borders between warring states. Collapsed tunnels must be re-excavated, and miles upon miles of roads and rail must be laid to further the new ties that bind us together as a true nation, rather than a mere collection of small states. Ufa's about to get a bunch of shit. Wow. So is Makun, Vologda. Man. This is, And I'm trying to think. Siberian Black League has declared war on the camp. We could get some more infrastructure investments. I think I'll do that. And I think it's finally some factory investments. That'll be good. When did Onega get a focus tree? Okay. Wow. I didn't know they had a focus tree. Good to know. Okay, we got a new boatload of troops. Young, eager men, ready to do one thing, and one thing only. Kill some fucking Finns. Wait. We have to do the regional stage. Alright. Who's ready? Chat's mostly dead. There's like 2 people watching. I'll say this at home. Who is ready for the Rest Russian National Soviet Republic? What started as an intellectual reflection of an NKVD chief ended with the creation of a reckonable force in West Russia, bound by its eclectic and totalitarian ideology. Ivan Sarov, the former paramilitary and security officer of the USSR communists, emerged as the sole leader in the crumbling Republic of Komi, defeating his enemies within and outside of a former democratic Russian state, rebuilding the country in accordance with the tenets of his ideology of Ordosocialism. Sarov hailed the return of the Russian national character in Soviet politics, while retaining the revolutionary trait of Bolshevism. The ascendancy of Sarov in his Ordosocialist dictatorship caused some curiosity, and more so hatred, from other Russian states, with the communists denouncing Sarov's system as nothing short of a fascist deviation. No matter how low the man is, it is apparent that the new ideology paved its way for Sarov to reign in Russia, which he has yet to fully accomplish. With Comrade Sarov, the Soviet motherland will be strong again. Make the motherland strong again! Make the Soviet motherland great again, I dare say. Alright. Let's do it, boys. Are you ready to fuck some Finns up? One last chance. Only one more task remains to ensure our complete control over West Russia and our mandate to reunify the rest of Eurasia. The reclamation of a territory of Onega and a victory against the state of Finland on the field of battle. Finland presents a unique opportunity as our gateway to Europe. Securing a favorable peace deal with the Finnish state will both allow for possible territorial reclamation, but also serve as a show of strength to Germany and all other pact-aligned nations. By defeating Finland, we can secure honor and recognition in the eyes of the international community, be respected for our triumphant martial prowess. So we got a new little tree, and I think what do we want to do? I think strategic theorem is a move here. 70 days. We no longer have the warlord recruitment. Fair enough. And we'll train... This is our good division, right? Yeah. We'll train another 4 of these boys up for now. See how far up we can get. Man. They're lacking some supply here.